Yeah, I just hit both.
Yeah, okay. Oh, oh boy, and now we just need to freaking... I should have already had Career Dashboard open. Ah, well, this is fine. This is fine. Just remember, when in doubt, do not feed plant. When would you ever feed the plant? Alright, so yeah, ads running, but screw it, it's fine. Should we just talk about whatever for a moment?
Sure, I guess.
I should mention, recently I finally got around to playing Spyro Reignited.
Oh,
And
yeah?
that's been a fun little experience.
It's great.
Yeah, it's a good remake for a game that I've literally, like, never played since, like, my childhood. It's, like, one of the first games I remember playing. And I'm just looking back and it's like, wow, kid me sucked at this crap. Holy crap.
Yeah,
I
Spyro is not particularly a difficult game.
It is really not a difficult game until you get to the flight speedways, and then the difficulty spikes up dramatically. Like, not too much, but it's like, alright, that's his actual challenge. And kid me did not know how to deal with that at all. I remember playing through like one or two of them and being like, okay, well, I'm not touching these again.
Unfortunately, once you clear it, you don't have to.
Yeah. That's like the weird thing, because it's like, of course, that's like the big thing of like, yeah, it's a collectathon. I feel like that just never clicked with me as a kid.
It's a very
Yeah.
it's a very simple collectathon. It's more Mario 64 than a Banjo-Kazooie.
I remember playing Spyro as like a literal child and being like, wait, the thing for the next world is right there. Why do I have to get all the gems if I just grab the dragons and then move on until I hit the final boss? Why is this game so short?
You gotta save everyone, unlock that bonus level.
Oh man. Hopefully the bonus levels are actually, good. I Because I feel like they probably won't be too special, but hopefully they're at least something.
The final bonus level is pretty neat.
I feel like just getting back into it's like just sort of off and on while distracted. It's taken me out like 6 hours or something. And I'm already or like halfway through the first game, and it's like, yeah, alright, yeah. This is just sort of like, a fun, nice little chill time, huh?
Yeah, till you get to
yeah.
treetops.
Oh boy, I remember like I remember like hanging that one as a kid, and I remember watching some playthrough or something like later on where someone was explaining how to get all this stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, did you know you can do like a super charge if you go through multiple charge arrows, and you have to make this incredibly obscure and tricky banked jump from one to the other?" And I remember us watching that and being like, "Oh, screw that."
Yeah, treetops is dumb.
But yeah, on the plus side, I am in the swamp world, so it will not be long until I have to get to that part of the game. It's coming. There's no avoiding it.
You gotta play it eventually.
I must face my childhood fear of trees, I guess. My childhood fear of collecting treasure. And like being good at games. Speaking of things that are scary, effing Chainsaw Man finally came out. New anime for that and everything. And boy, that's a strong first episode with some notable but not the worst CG. That's probably not a strong sell, but no, ironically, check out Chainsaw Man. That series is great. I should probably mention that, like, one unique thing I do have to add is that, like, I feel like everyone's gonna be saying their piece about the series, it's like, it's out there, like, the takes are gonna come. A lot of people are gonna call it overrated because, it's, like, it's a very flawed, imperfect series and just sort of accepts that. Like, one of the big themes is that characters literally sit there and just watch a shitty B movie, and everyone's like, oh, that sucks, and Dingy's like, and I kinda like that, that's something different. And it's like, just as close as possible to characters just looking at the audience and being like, yeah, no, accept this to be like a flawed, weird ride. But it's like, one thing that is worth knowing that people probably aren't talking as much about is, hey, Chainsaw Man the manga has, like, ended. Like, Denji's story started and he had his full character arc, and that was it. But Chainsaw Man Part 2 is, like, coming out right now, and they're, like, 9 chapters into it. And here's the thing. They're basically JoJoing it. They're pulling a hard JoJo's where it's like part 2 just starts up with like goofy gags and new weirdo scenarios. And it follows a completely new character dealing with completely new emotional trauma. And it's like, it's a whole situation where it's like Denji's story is kind of continuing, but also he has completely been relegated to like a side character at this point. And it's like, no, we gotta deal with this new girl now. But also Denji's just off to the side still trying to like, figure out ways to get girls. But also this new character though, and they're the new big deal. It's like their whole mission is to kill Chainsaw Man. And that's the plot. Their mission is to kill Chainsaw Man. Because, like... Yes, up, Baron. Because freaking, like, their parents were killed by devils, and everyone in their class just fell in love with the new class pet of Clucky the Chicken Devil, who just makes all the chicken and egg puns, and everyone loved him, and then she accidentally, like, got tripped while carrying Clucky and killed him, and that really screwed up her social life and gave her social anxiety. This is the type of series Chainsaw Man just is. And it's great. I love it. Oh, hey, sup, Baron? Yeah. Also, sup, Wondering Soul on, like, YouTube. Ah, heck yeah. See, YouTube stream is going. It's Flow, by the way. Oh, okay. Ah, didn't actually realize. Alright, awesome. Now I have 2 chats to pay attention to. That's twice the amount of, like, negligence I could give people. Unintentionally, nice. Of course. So yeah, I feel like not too much else to say out there without getting into spoilers or anything. Chainsaw Man's a good series. People should check it out. That anime is gonna be a wild time. You will never see a character be like as fulfilled kicking a dude who's down in the balls, and you will never expect it to be as recurring of a thing as it is. So yeah, should we actually go on with Digimon now, I guess?
Yeah, probably a good idea if this one doesn't run too long.
Yeah. I feel like it probably won't. I feel like we don't have much to talk about. But yeah, yeah. I've
had hiccups, like, nonstop for the past couple days, so I'm exhausted. My throat hurts.
The past couple days? I knew you had hiccups. I know it was that bad.
Oh yeah.
Alright. Huh. But yeah, as for me, I've been like, listen, man, I watched this episode and I got so spooked that I had to take 2 weeks off. Not for any other reasons, not because of like, any incompetence on my end. Just oh boy, these spooky rabbits really got me swaying.
Real
Listen,
spooky.
my doctor says I have a heart condition. And I watched episode 44 and I was like, oh god, internet trolls, and it made me pass out for a week. Chainsaw Man's
Baron,
pretty nuts, but also surprisingly insightful, yeah.
I believe I've had hiccups last for about a week.
Sounds nasty. Lucky I've never heard of a case lasting that long. Man, I really need to get the freaking chat working again. That'd be really useful right now. If you'd actually see it on the video. Well, we'll figure out eventually.
Yeah. You might have to link it to your other streaming program once.
Yeah.
I probably do that.
I feel like I probably should have started early and tried that, but we're already a bit late, so it's like, yeah, I guess I'll get it next time.
Yeah.
I've put off streaming for long enough already. But yeah, Digimon Ghost Game, episode 40... No, wait, this is episode 40...
Something.
No, this is 44, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, 44 through 46? Crap, this tile is just a lie then.
The little Antilamon are hilarious. They're just little guys.
Yeah, crap, 44 or 46. Alright. I need to, like, fix that then. Screw it, I'll get it, yeah. Man, hey, I've got a horror story for you, okay? Hear me out. Wouldn't it be really scary if there were, like, little rabbits and they were kind of cute? And they're just like, hey, tell us to do something and we'll give you chocolate. Oh man, chills down my spine just thinking about it.
Yeah. Here's a website where you can order anything you want and it'll somehow just magically appear in your room. Also, buildings are being, like, shaking and crap and falling apart. But I'm sure that's unrelated.
All they require is your soul. I mean, nah, they just take it from the building.
They just turn matter in the building into whatever they have to make.
All they require is, like, product moderation. A moderation of your greed. To, like, good old rabbit boy. Also, I'm worried to get you guys off track, but a lot of official leak stuff kind of foreshadowing for some stuff in the show could be going, oh, really? The fact that there's actual foreshadowing gives me a lot of hope for the future. That's how low the bar is right now.
It's probably just where they keep bringing up Hero's dad.
Yeah, speaking of, yeah, these episodes kind of, like, bookend each other weirdly well. Because the whole problem with this episode is that Hero's dad just found some Antilamon who, like, freaking, like, fixed his sandal. And he's like, oh, that's really cool. I bet a lot of people would like this in the human world. And they're like, oh, okay, we should just do this for everyone. And Jellymon was like, oh, I can make money off of this? Question mark?
Yeah. So at first I thought Jellymon was just stealing things, but I'm glad that's not where it was going.
Yeah. Jellymon somehow recruited 3 ultimates to help her in her scheme to give people items for free that they could resell. It's like, oh, okay. I never get the point of Jellymon's schemes because it seems like there's never like a profit margin at the end. It seems like the scheme is just to just like run a business and that's the end goal.
Jellymon just wants to help other Digimon in the human world.
Yeah, the dim cards showed so interesting stuff. We know Gamon's Mega now, and it looks pretty sick in pixel art. Right, yeah, we live reacted to that in Digimon Survive a week or two ago. Yeah, like 2 weeks ago or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
we saw that.
Yeah, so I don't know, I guess I feel like that's the thing, I feel like we should talk about it, but at the same time, I feel like we kind of got our thoughts out in that one. And it's just sort of like, oh, okay, I guess there's maybe two megas and one's dark and one's light. Sure, why not? One of them looks really cool. The
Yeah,
other one I'll have to see in motion, yeah.
it's obviously the normal evolution, and the other one just branches off of Gulus Gamamon.
Yeah. Or is Gulus Gamamon's the normal evolution and the other one is like the branch off of what he's supposed to be?
Right, I forgot that that was a theory I had. The Gulus
Yeah.
Gamamon is the canon evolution.
I feel like that honestly makes a lot of sense. Like, realistic, because, like, Kale Weissmon doesn't really fall from Gulus Gamamon too much, but at the same time, you know, it's like, it seems like that's what the implication is, right?
I feel like maybe I looked it up, and Gulus Gamamon is the only virus champion.
Huh. Yeah, makes
I don't know.
sense.
Gamamon.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of little semantics of, like, yo, like, oh, is Gulus Gamamon the true natural evolution, or was there never a natural evolution to begin with? Or is he just the corruption that happened that took place in place of something else? I don't know. There's a lot of weird directions they can take this.
Beto Gamamon is vaccine, Kaus Gamamon is data, and Wezen Gamamon is data. So yeah, Gulus Gamamon is the only virus evolution for Gamamon.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, at least that's a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, effing rabbits that just make you things in exchange for basically nothing, in exchange for minor property damage that adds up.
Yeah, there's a kid in the school who gets a reputation as being that guy who can get you anything you want. And he's using this website that Jellymon set up, which is just the website is an anagram of her name.
Jeez.
Which, as soon as I saw the website name, I'm like, oh, it's Jellymon.
I didn't even get it. It was like, oh, alright. That's the thing, it's like, I feel like this is the episode that made me stop and kind of, like, really compartmentalize the fact that, like, these episodes aren't really good mysteries, like, at all. Because it's like, okay, I guess the mystery is who's running the website, but the mystery I was focused on is like, okay, who's the Digimon of the week? And it's a Digimon I know that does things in a way that I've never seen before. So even with, like, my knowledge of past lore, I had zero clues to guess what it was going to be. All I know is that people kept saying they're, like, elves or, like, fairies or something, and you see them, and it's like, those aren't fairies or elves at all. What the heck?
Yeah, it's weird when the episode is the episode title is something like Rust, and it's like, oh, is it the Rust Tyrannomon somehow? And it's like, no, it's Dantylomon.
Yeah, before, like, I saw this, I remember thinking it was like, okay, I saw a preview and it's like, oh yeah, next episode, Rust. And I'm like, okay, is this going to involve Espamon because he's made of metal? Because at the time we just introduced Emma, who is yet to come back somehow. What the heck?
Unsurprisingly.
I am very surprised. What the heck, Digimon? You can't just introduce someone with main character syndrome and then just ignore them.
She literally went back to the United States at the end of that episode.
It meant nothing. It was all nothing.
Told you.
Man, if he actually does come back and becomes a tamer, I'm gonna be, like, just so done with this. I'm gonna be so frustrated at everything.
I will say that with we got a new ending. I don't know which episode it starts on, so I'm just going to talk about it here. There are little shots of like the main characters and their Digimon by themselves, but a couple of them have Digimon hanging out with them in the image.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the ending credits.
I did, but I don't really remember it that well.
Yeah, hold on, let me pull it up.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying, yeah. I should quickly just read the chat real quick. We're definitely getting past 52 episodes. Might be going until March to May. Jeez. And Angormon, Jellymon, Dimkar is listed to sell around March, April, so May they're megas? Yeah, makes sense. No, they're more like part of Problem of the Day episodes. Yeah, it's like... we're getting to a point where it's like, alright, the actual animation is, like, great. I don't hate the episodes, but I have no idea what you're supposed to really be getting, like, out of these at this point.
Okay, so yeah, one of the images is Hero and Gamamon hanging out with Espamon, which makes sense.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, Ruli and Goramon are by themselves. I don't see any other Digimon in the image with them. And then there's Jellymon and Ryutamon.
Yeah,
and
that one makes...
Kyo.
Yeah, that one kind of makes sense too, yeah. It feels like in a later episode they try and make, like, Ryutamon and Kyo more of a thing. And it's like, okay, I can see it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that, is because you're speculating the Digimon that show up will become like fusion partners or something.
Yeah, I was speculating they'd become fusion partners. And I was also thinking, like, maybe the Digimon that show up will get, like, their own tamers. Because we see, like... You know, of course, Emma I've, like, brought before, because, holy crap, just the idea of a new tamer is one of the most interesting things they've done in this series in the last, like, 30 episodes.
Well, think of it this way. There are only 3 vital bracelets.
Yeah, but
and our main characters have them. Like, not really, because his dad made them and he's gone.
Yeah, but we'd always have something where, you know, Hero just gets a mysterious present, and his dad's like, hey, I made some more vital bracelets, and it's like, oh, alright.
The moment that happens is when I'll believe that we'll get more tamers, but not a moment before it.
Jeez. This is really gonna hurt me while I, like, propose my theory for the next episode. But yeah, friggin' Antilmon, I friggin' love this Digimon. The fact that it's, like, just an alchemist now and it's converting materials is weird. I don't, but sure, whatever, it's cool.
I think it's interesting. Antilmon is able to adjust its height and, like, or not just height, but size, you know what I mean? And it's going around making things out of materials, and it's like, oh, the heroes have to deal with 3 ultimates just hanging out.
Approach believe they all gonna get the new Val bracelets, the main 3 at least. Oh yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because they keep releasing new ones, and I'm tired of buying new Vital bracelets. So I'm probably just gonna wait until, like, I don't know, they're like, this is the big final one.
But yeah, I feel like, as you can see in this image, yeah, Antilamon's not that big, because this is how they sneak around. They become small. And when they need to fight seriously, oh god, why did it do it like this? Why wouldn't it just start out maximized?
When they want to, just there should be a
I
maximize.
got, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they
But,
just become
yeah.
like normal sized Antilamon when they're ready to fight.
They're just like, hey, you ready to go? Alright, let's do this.
Like, oh, you're trying to stop our business? No.
So, hey, we have 3 ultimates, but we still have a hard time limit, so, good luck with this.
Yeah, so I think Kyo's not around, and so Jellymon is, instead of fighting, is just like, okay, I need to go find that kid's
Yeah.
laptop and cancel all the orders because that's the only way they'll stop.
Yeah, if all the orders are cancelled, they'll have no reason to fight us for interfering with their business.
Also, the Antilamon, like, these Antilamon are really strong. Not only, like, they have a move where they
Yeah.
coat their arms in metal so they can fight, they also are able to heal themselves instantly.
Yup. Yeah, the heroes actually do damage to them, and they just heal themselves and get back up, and it's like, oh, well, crap.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is a problem that we can't just solve unless we just incinerate them.
Yeah. You have to basically, like, knock them out in one, you know? You have to, like, beat them before they can heal, or, like, outlast them or something. You know, try to, like, drain their energy. And it's like, neither of those are viable options right now.
Yeah. I don't know, this is a pretty fun episode.
Yeah, I honestly, like, as much as I'm complaining, I did like it. I actually did really enjoy it, because it's like, this is a fun scenario where it's like, you know, these are like enemies that we can't actually defeat, and the only way to beat these ultimates is to, like, you know, find a way to hard cancel the order. So, good luck with that. Get going, Jellymon. Cancel it all. Well, guys, looks like it's an unwinnable boss battle. AR solutions? Yeah, let's try winning.
Yeah. I like the moment where it's like they realize how the Antilamon have been making goods, and they confront Jellymon about it. She's like, oh, so they just make them stuff, whatever. And it's like, I think Hero's just like, you can't make something out of nothing.
Yeah. Like, this is one of those episodes where it's like, alright, everyone's, like, actually competent, and they seem like they're fairly on the ball about things. I feel like that's not as much the case in the 3rd episode of these, but we'll get to that.
Eventually, Hero corners the guy who's getting stuff for everybody, and he just mentions the name of the website to him, and he's like, okay, we need to go talk in private.
Yeah. Okay, he knows.
Yeah, and then Hero's just like, all right, show me the website. I need to see it. And then it's the Jellymon anagram. And it's like, oh, there it is.
Yeah. Man, I feel like these episodes really have highlighted just how much this show needs 2-parters. It really needs 2-parters, because they have like these mysteries going in the investigation phases, but they don't have time to properly solve the mysteries. So it's just like, oh, isn't this a spooky idea? Alright, I guess we've just solved that then. Time to fight the thing.
Pretty sure that's the whole idea. I don't think, like, you keep talking about it, having all these mysteries and everything. It's like, I don't think that was the intent. Like, the fact that it's called Ghost Game and released in October, I think the entire premise of the show is just, oh, look at these kind of spooky Digimon.
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever trying to be a mystery series.
But hey, moving on, yo would really be spooky?
Hold on. Before we move on to the next episode, I need to use the restroom. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'll be right back.
Because this is a YouTube upload, I was just going to go from thing to thing immediately. Oh boy. I guess I'll just leave this out of context image so people can try and guess the spooky thing, even though it's completely unrelated to the image. Oh, man. Yeah, it's the case of different routers for each episode. Some seem out of character at times. It's more noticeable in an episodic show like this. Yeah, that makes sense, but it's like, yeah. And I feel like they could have, like, because there's some episodes where Hero's just on the ball and he gets it and he knows what he's doing. And there's our episodes where it's like, he just sees obvious, like, supernatural things happen. And he's like, oh, whatever, I guess it's nothing. And he just walks away like it's no big deal. Man, it's very weird. Like, at this point, you think they'd be so primed to just assume anything they encounter is the threat of, like, a Digimon,
They really should.
So, hey, what's really spooky?
Fake news.
Pop idols. I mean, what? Yet, what's really spooky is internet fake news. Isn't Twitter scary? Ooh.
But you know what's scary? Fake news, but if you criticize it, then the person who wrote it will try to harm or kill you.
Reddit dislikes. Oh, man.
So Publemon is like the worst thing I've ever seen. I hate it.
I kind of hate the Digimon, but I love the concept. Because it's like all Digimon are is like, they're just like, concepts that we have as like, like a species that have like, become so like shared that they become data and become like new beings. So it's like, oh hey, here's the concept of like a scummy tabloid journalist. It's a Digimon now.
Yeah, he's a gross little goblin in a sweater that doesn't fit him.
He's a gross little E-News goblin. And it's like, I hate him, but I kind of also love him.
I think the writers hated him.
Man, there's a point where like, they're like, oh, Publemon, I've never heard of that one before, and Goremon's like, yeah, he's really rare.
Yeah, and Goremon's just like, oh, that scumbag?
Yeah, that guy? Yeah, don't screw with him.
Champions here, by the way.
He'll leave you a bad food review on, like, 4chan. He'll criticize your restaurant and then call the manager.
But yeah, I believe Publemon is, he's created for Ghost Game. He's new.
Okay. This also was just an Atmon episode, which this show takes a lot from. Oh, that might actually explain a lot. Oh no. Newmon was also seemingly based off of Atmon. Yeah, I can kind of see it. This is like, this feels a bit more directly based on technology than a lot of Digimon. Like, there's, of course there's Digimon that are like robots, or they're like all about data or guns or whatever. This is literally just like, this is just Twitter. This is just a Twitter thread, like, personified as a Digimon. Oh, man. This is, like, so specific.
Yeah. It's a Digimon that writes news articles, and then it makes those news articles happen with its ability to, go around and be a Digimon.
So I should probably mention the plot of this episode is that, like, Publemon's just making articles, and if you criticize him, he'll make something bad happen to you. And meanwhile, Kyo is really interested in this new idol band now called D-Topic, which is much better of a name than D-Reaper. Actually, you know what? I said that joke. No, it's not. That'd be an awesome idol name. But, like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he's into this idol group, and he's got Gamamon and Ryudomon in on it.
I love the little get hack they do, where it's like, yo, they're like acting out the different characters. It's like showing the character they're acting as before cutting to them doing the pose. Yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, she's everyone's leader, so and so, and Kyo does the pose, and Ryumon's like, yeah, and this one is like, yo, she's like everyone's like, yo, cutie, like so and so, he does the poo, and Gamon's like, little sister, and the character in the background's just like, you see the owl just like mess up the thing, just like, oh, what?
Yeah, because Gamamon can't remember, like, his lines.
The universe's ultimate little sister. And he's like, Anna, and he, like, does a thing, and they, like, do a little group pose, and Gamamon just falls over and just gets up and, like, does it wrong, and it's so adorable. Jeez.
Yeah, I like one aspect of this episode, and it's like, okay, we need to show how dangerous this Digimon is. And it's like, oh, okay, he might do something like this character is going to have something fall on him and break his arm. Or it could be that they get hit by a bus.
Yeah. As much as I'm making the joke for this one, like, that actually is kind of scary. It's like, you read a news headline that says that you specifically will be hit by a bus, and then it happens.
Yeah. Like, Kyo's is like, it says, like, oh, he'll have his skull fractured, and it's like, Pablamon, like, of course, Kyo hides in his room to stay, safe. And so Pablamon chases him to the rooftop where he tries to drop a huge potted plant on his head.
Yeah. So yeah, here's my theory, right? Because the next, like, person they're going after, of course, is the idols. It's freaking Anna. It's the little sister. Yeah. So we get a whole thing where, like, they have to, like, approach her to, like, save her, and they actually just straight up introduce her to Gamamon and the concept of Digimon. And it's like, okay, so we have 2 people in the world now, like, only 2 people who just straight up know outside of the main characters. And if we can just get one more...
They don't. They don't know they don't know what a Digimon is. They tell them they're security holograms.
Well, yeah, but it's close enough, yeah. And it's like this character also is a very clearly unique design and a very clearly unique position in the world is like a backstory and stuff. And it's like, okay, yeah, is Anna going to be a tamer?
No.
I feel like it's gonna happen. I can feel it. Like, it'd be too easy, right? Because she already likes Gamamon. She's like, oh, Gamamon's the best. So it's like,
of course she likes Gamamon. Gamamon's great.
We have an in to be like, hey, yo, what? Gamamon will protect you, right? Oh, yeah, you should, like, trust us. These holograms sure are advanced. Man, they're able to do security work now? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah,
man, that Gamamon, Gamamon turned into a flying hologram that you can ride on.
Oh, that's wild. That's such an advanced hologram. Man, it's such hard light technology, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, the stuff happening, the bad stuff happening to people escalates to straight up Anna of the idol group will die.
Just
straight up.
You know what? There is one way for Pubblemon to save face, and for that to be like, I never said when.
I mean, that stops working when it's like, oh, he rigs it so they're on like a little cooking show, and the loser gets like a punishment or something,
Yeah.
and Pubblemon clearly changes it from whatever it was to they must skydive from 40,000 feet in the air or something.
Yeah, and that's how he's planning to kill her in like a freak skydiving accident.
Yep.
Why don't gives like, alright, they changed the punishment game, but then also they just have like a skydiving team like ready with like a plane, and it's like, oh, we just have to like get on the plane and do this now. And I'm just like, wait a second. How did you like get all the stuff ahead of time? Like, how far back did you plan this?
I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure Pubblemon changed it at the last second, and then like the team was like, "Oh, I guess that's what it says. We got to do it."
I guess we gotta just do it now.
Also, knowing that Pubblemon is trying to rig these horrible things to happen, I find it so stupid. They're like, well, I guess we have to go up 40,000 feet in the air on an airplane to skydive.
There's no other way. We gotta do it.
Yeah, like it's kind of dumb because like Anna's scared to do it, obviously, and Gamamon's just like, "I'll protect you," and then she goes, "I'll do it," and it's like, why?
This should be the point where Joe's like, oh yeah, you know that security holograms aren't like physical, right? I know I would, but it'd be really funny. It'd be like, you know this actually wouldn't work. Show's so stupid. Oh man. But yeah, friggin' Pubblemon just attacks the airplane. He's just freaking like just parachuting off like after her to like destroy her parachute. And it's like, oh, we'll just like knock out the driver and destroy the chute, and she'll just be forced to crash into the ground. And we have an actually really cool skybow with him with like, was it Klaus Gamamon? Yeah.
Klaus Gamamon, yeah, the flying one.
Yeah, it's actually like, as dumb as this whole sup is, actually is a really fun sup for like a Digimon fight. He's got the
climax
goofy,
is
like,
pretty fun,
keyboards. Yeah. Like, I can't hate this episode just because of nothing else. It's at least like fun and effective at what it does, even though it is goofy as heck in places.
Yeah, I don't like the Digimon that they have for this like episode, but the climax is fun, so it's fine.
Man, here's the thing, this is a new Digimon, so I'm just like, most of the like episode he looks like this with the little ball things over his teeth, and I was thinking like, oh, does he have really weird braces? Because you keep seeing him like this. Because he's yeah.
He's falling.
He's falling, and they're like the balls from his like hoodie, like the little strings, but they're always like over his teeth. So I was like, wait, does he have braces? Because he's grinning really weirdly with a lot of teeth. And it's like, is this why he has that weird expression? Because he has weird, crazy Digimon braces.
Nope, that's just his design.
Yup. Yeah, this is a fun episode. Ah, heck yeah. Hey, wouldn't it be scary if you went skydiving and then, like, a Digimon destroyed your parachute? It could happen to any of us.
Yeah. The first thing that happens is he knocks out. So, like, Anna's skydiving with, like, a trained professional, and so he knocks him out so he won't be able to pull the chute.
Yeah.
And then once they get the chute deployed, he cuts a hole in the parachute, and so they, like, Hero and Kalsgamon catch her and get her safely to the ground. I forget how it happens, but Pubblemon's chute gets cut in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's like how they beat him, isn't it? Yeah, if I remember
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So I was watching this episode and I was like, okay, they can't let him out of like this guy they can't let this guy go. This one's a problem.
This was a problem.
And fortunately they don't. Like they don't land the killing blow, but I like I said, I don't remember how it happens, but his parachute gets like a hole in it, and so he just falls to the ground and gravity kills him.
Yeah. Listen, sometimes the only way to deal with Digimon is murder.
Yes.
Sometimes it is the only way. If Hero's dad just told him that, then, like, I feel like this would be, like, a more interesting series.
Yeah. Speaking of sometimes you just have to kill the Digimon, I am baffled that the next episode the villain got out as easy as they did.
Do we have anything else to say about this one? Because I've said my theory, we've talked about the premise, we talked about the fight. I feel like we're pretty good to go, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Pablamon sucks. I'm glad he's dead.
So moving on. Oh, hey, what's really scary?
Tentacle monsters.
What's really terrifying? What if you were being controlled by a plant and it made you shave your balls? Isn't that spooky, guys?
This podcast is not sponsored by Manscaped.
Oh man.
But boy, would this have been a good time for that sponsorship.
Makes me like shivered to my spine. I feel like there are multiple times where like the heroes had every moral obligation to stop what was happening and they just don't.
They had to lure out the mastermind so they could see what they were dealing with.
Yeah. Because it's like, alright, so the sub for this episode is that, I forget what this guy's name is, but he's like, he's shown before. Yeah, he's one of Hero's closest friends with a super default design.
Yeah.
If this guy gets a Digimon, it'd be wild.
Yeah, this episode starts off with him creeping on girls at a pool.
Yeah, and that is probably the best horse up we've got so far, because he's creeping on girls, and it's like, oh, but what if you can't go in the pool because you're afraid of water? And it's like, oh, there's like a bit of like, karma in this one. Okay, yeah. And it's like, of course not like super justified, but it's like, okay, yeah, that's at least something. And it's like, a creature, like, touches the back of his neck with some kind of tentacle. And I was thinking, like, okay, maybe this is, like, Rosemon or, like, like, Lilamon or something. And it's no.
It's another new one.
It's a new Digimon that I could have never guessed because I don't know what this thing is.
Yeah, it's Oleamon.
Man. This just reminds me, it's like, earlier today I was watching a Dire Gentleman video where they do videos on terrible writing advice, and this did one where it's like, it's some, like, bad horror director who made, like, the Human Centipede or some crap, doing, like, bad horror writing advice, and they just keep joking about some premise for a movie he pitched at some point, which is like, well, if there is a girl and she could touch you and then you died, and they kept being like, oh, would it be scary if there is a girl and she could touch you? Terrifying. Scary plant woman mon. Oh man, I'd be terrified if there is a girl and she could touch me.
So yeah, this episode is what Hero's friend gets touched by the Digimon. It's her tongue.
Yeah.
Straight up. and like plants a thing in the back of his neck, and it makes him hallucinate when he sees water and he sees like killer plants coming for him, and so he's afraid of water.
And the plants tie him up and was clearly like a tentacle bondage thing that freaks him out because of this is a very fetishy episode. I'll just say it. This is a weird one.
It's weird. Fortunately, we only really see like one scene of it like going really deep in there, but it's like, okay, that's enough.
You say that, but this goes some weird places. Because it's like, there's the plant that like ties him up with the vines, and he like freaks out, and it's a weird hallucination. And it's like, alright, step one is like, Hero sees the thing on the back of his neck, so he knows it's there. Point two is like, he keeps being freaked out by like plants and petals and stuff, and Hero knows this. Like, they go to a bathhouse and he loses his crap, and it's like, okay, we know that there's a thing on his neck, and we know that he is now mysteriously terrified of water. I feel like at this point any sane person would put the pieces together.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, okay, you guys are really, really stupidly oblivious to all this.
Point three is that Hero shows up at some point, and this guy just straight up has not been bathing. Like, he hasn't been, yeah.
Which is apparently the point.
It's a very, like, very out of the way, like, way to get to the specific point of we need you to be dirty and filthy. Because that's Ulfimon's fetish, or whatever the crap her name is. Ulfimon?
Oleamon.
Oleamon's thing. Yeah, it's a very kinky episode.
Well, she's like a stinky flower, so she likes stinky things.
She likes stinky things. So it's like, alright, I feel like by a point that you know all of this, like the logical response would be like, okay, let's like try stuff out. Let's try to like get that spot on the back of his neck wet or something. Clearly it doesn't like water for some reason. Let's try giving him like a blindfold and then take him to the bathhouse or something, which is probably a little dangerous, but not that much. As long as there's someone with him, he'll be fine.
Hey, you know what? As far as like the mystery aspect thing goes, this one has a decent hint at what the problem is and how they're gonna beat her. Because Ruli gets attacked in one of the changing rooms, and she just to try to defend herself pulls out like an air freshener and sprays it at it, and it recoils and runs away.
Yeah, there's like actual setup and payoff for this one, because it's like, the friend air freshener, like, it hates it.
The only thing is that I don't think it directly calls out that it was air freshener. It's just Ruli pulls out a can of something that sprays, and she blasts the Digimon with it.
Is it weird that my first thought was like, did Ruli just mace of Digimon? And it's like, no, of course not.
I thought she brought like a plant killing, like plant poison, and then I realized, like, wait, they don't know that it's a plant Digimon yet.
Yeah. Like, if nothing else, at least it works. As long as it works. So it's like, okay, we've gone through like 3 points of like, hey, this is weird and we should probably stop it so far. And the episode keeps going. And it's like, point 4, this guy's like hallucinating, like, I probably shouldn't like count this one because like Hero doesn't know. But it's like, he's probably like, he starts hallucinating like just a woman wearing like a witch outfit who is like luring him out. No, right, point 4 I should say is that it's like he says that, some voice told him that like, he would be ready tomorrow. Because he hears Oleamon in his sleep, while she's like just over him or something. Trying to like find out when he's ready. I'll call it point 4. And point 5 is he just like, he just gets brainwashed and just starts leaving the house. And everyone knows that, he said something was going to happen tomorrow, and no one is watching him at the time. Thankfully, they find him pretty quickly, but it's like, alright, yeah.
Well, actually, Hero was watching, because he did tell him.
Yeah, I guess.
He told him what he heard, and Hero was like, "Oh, it's a good thing we stake the place out, because there he goes."
So it's like, the process is, he goes out of the house, he leaves for somewhere, who knows where. This could totally be a Hookmon, like a Petermon situation. Yeah, that was it. This could totally be a Petermon thing, where, like, if you don't get to him in time, he'll just walk through a portal and become inaccessible. As far as anyone knows, right? This could be really, really dangerous. And it's like, okay, leave, go outside, go to a beauty salon, comb your hair with the, like, destroyed, crappy comb that rips the hair out of your head for some reason. And no, at this point, it's like, in his mind, he's being lured away by a crazy witch woman who's like, oh, hey, I'll show you irresistible pleasures or something. And I'm like, oh, this is going a weird direction. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. It's like...
Yeah, the way Oleamon words a bunch of her stuff is, like, really creepy, and it's like,
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, no, she just wants to eat him. Okay, thank God.
That's the thing, because the next is that it's like, oh yeah, come outside, like, prepare yourself, be ready for the pleasures or more of the crap. Be prepared for paradise, I think she says.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Comb your hair, and then, like, get undressed. And this is, like, the hard point where I feel like any sane person would look at this and be like, we gotta stop him now. There's no good into this.
By doing what?
We have to stop him from taking his clothes off. Like...
Oh, excuse me.
Like, this is getting, like, extra weird.
What good would that do, though?
I know, but I feel like we've seen enough to know he's probably in some pretty real danger.
What do they do? The villain hasn't shown themselves.
I don't know, if we stop them, they will probably show themselves to, like, make it happen. And that's when we fight them. Screw it, why not?
I think they handled it appropriately. They waited for the bad guy to show up, and then they tried to fight it when it did.
I would very much struggle to call this course of action appropriate in any way. Like, thank God he just happened to have, like, a whole weirdo, like, leaf fall he could just wear that is, like, surprisingly covering for his lower half.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Just, Ruri has seen way more than I ever thought she would. Jeez. Just holy crap.
I like the bit where he's, like, undressing, and, like, instead of covering her eyes and Goromon covers her mouth, she doesn't, like, yell out and give away their position.
Hey, Goromon, no, that's not the right thing to cover. Oh, no.
Also, so eventually Oleamon does show up, and she captures them all. And then she is she's outwitted in the most ridiculously simple way I've ever seen. Like, it is so ridiculous.
just going back a little bit, I'm just like, I just imagine a really funny situation where it's like the opposite of that scenario, where he starts undressing and Gormon's right next to the window and he just covers the window with his ears like perfectly just to like cover the bit. And he's like, nah, you get to see this. That's so it's Fash put into written form. Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, do that and you walk off and you just, hey, take this sharp leaf and just shave your arms because the hair, you... Not your head, just your arms.
Yeah. Worth noting, this kid has, like, no body hair already.
Yeah. It would be...
It's like, okay, shave off, like, your body hair with, like, this leaf, and he's, like he's shaving off nothing.
Like, is it, like, how fucked up is it that for a second I was like, oh god, is he gonna, like, cut his arms and they're just gonna be all bloody? And I'm like, oh wait, it's Digimon, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Of course not. Still though, for someone who's, like, being, like, just brainwashed and stuff, that's a really scary idea. Just you're not in the right mindset. Now take this knife and physically shave your arms. Jeez. But yeah, they get to a Leomon. It's like, oh hey, I want to eat this stinky human because that'd be great. Because Hero's dad.
Yep.
Hero's dad just ate some of my stinky food at some point and was like, oh yeah, this smells like someone who hasn't bathed in a week, huh, ha ha. And she's like, oh, I gotta try that now.
I gotta eat a stinky human.
And then it's like freaking plant waifu is just like, oh, Nat, you're all prepared. I'll give you paradise inside my stomach. And it's meant to... I feel like I get the impression it's meant to be kind of like a reversal of what you expect. But it's like, I'm sure people are into this. This is someone's fetish, absolutely.
Yeah.
She threatens to give him a good time by voring him. It's like, oh god.
Yeah. And Simba and Goramon is like, but if you let me down, I know a really good way to bring out the flavor when you're cooking. And she's like, oh, okay, and then lets him down. And he's like, oh, but I need to fill this with water, and I can't do that with the plant thing on me. And you should probably remove that from me and all my friends. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she does it. And then Simba and Goramon is just like, okay, all right, cool, thanks. And he kicks the barrel ladder.
Man, I'm just thinking, it's like, you know, it'd be really, really, like, just goofy, but also really smart. If Goramon was like, well, I can't do this without water, and she's just like, oh, I don't have any of that. I don't want you a chance of him getting wet. What are you doing? Are you gonna put him in the water? What is this? Like, she just called him out, but for a completely different reason. Like, nah, I don't want him to get in the water. What are you, crazy? That's the whole point.
But no, the whole point of the water was just so he wouldn't bathe. She's not afraid of water.
No, because she's just like, oh, are you gonna put him in the pot and put water on him? I don't want that. Then he'd be bathing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Simba and Goramon's talking about, like, she doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. He's just, all she knows is he's like, oh, you know what really draws out the flavor? You need to steam him. Steamed man. You know, it's an old family recipe where I'm from. Steamed mans.
So yeah, Simba and Goramon kicks the barrel into her and cuts down all of his friends, and then they bombard her with air fresheners, and then Betelgeumamon ignites them.
And you call them steamed mans despite the fact that they're obviously grilled. But yeah, Betelgeumamon blasts the crap out of her with the air freshener. And blows it up.
Yeah, the moment she survived that, I was like, oh no, they're gonna let her get away with this somehow.
Yeah. Although, like, everything being said, they do find good alternative.
It's such a wild thing. Like,
this
they give Oleamon like an internet show.
She becomes Gordon Ramsay.
Except she exclusively deals in stinky foods.
Oh man.
Maybe not even. It might not even be foods, just stinky stuff in general. And like, if you look at the end of the episode, there's like people questioning, is this like an advanced AI hologram, or is this like a puppet? Like, what is this?
How's it able to eat and handle real? The question of why does nobody know what Digimon are has never been more prevalent.
To be fair, like, I don't know. There's a lot of elaborate things that people do with like models and puppets and stuff and whatever. But yeah, it is weird that Oleamon just has a show as itself on the internet that people can watch.
If I was watching an online like live show and like I saw a VTuber handling what's like clearly real food and like eating it, and it was like just one-to-one, like it was actually going in their mouth and everything, like I don't know if that would make me question if VTubers are real or not, but I will at least be like, wait, huh? What? How?
Yeah, it's so strange.
Like,
it's like
not like malls, like actual just real food. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. It's just, I don't know. Their solution is, okay, as long as you don't try to hurt anybody, you could do the show where you like check out all these stinky things. I don't know why it has to be a public thing for people to see and question, but you know.
Yeah. She needs to be doing one of those shows where it's like, like American Eats or whatever, where it's like she's just driving from city to city trying to find the stinkiest gourmet she can.
Yeah.
Here I'm at the place where they're serving the world's largest onion burgers.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many onions on them. Oh, and I got these raw pies from out back, so it'll be extra stinky. Let's go. Oh man. Like there are solutions here. But holy crap.
It's just such a strange episode resolution, but hey, whatever.
Oh man, dude. I feel like we surprisingly have like very little to say about this one too. Cause it's like it's really creepy and holy crap, like was with all these fetishes, who out there was like, oh yeah, you know what, Oleamon is my waifu, let's do this.
I guess I'll say this for these 3 episodes. I didn't hate or even dislike any of them. They're all fine.
Yeah. I think so this was the weakest one of the night, though.
Yeah, good on them, though, for just 3 episodes of, yeah, that was alright.
Yeah. Digimon
also, we're getting 2 of them had, like, little ties to Hero's dad in the digital world, so even though that didn't really go anywhere, it's nice that there's hints of things.
If nothing else, Digimon Ghost Game is amazingly consistent, and is amazingly consistent at not giving us what we want. Man, I'm just imagining, like, someone out there is just like, oh man, it'd be crazy if we ran this internet live show and we got people to come because we showed them a really strange and unusual plant and they're like, nah, no one's gonna like, come in just because they see a strange and unusual plant. And someone looks at the thumbnail of Oleamon's live stream and they're like, my, what a strange and unusual plant. I should watch this. Friggin' little Shop of Horror reference. So yeah, no. Anything else we really want to bring up for this one?
Really?
Not really. Alright.
I don't have anything else. No Digimon Frontier this week because we had to catch up with 3 episodes of Ghost Game.
Yeah, Digimon Frontier will continue next week.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure out how the heck we want to handle this, because holy crap. So yeah, I guess that'll be it then.
Yep.
I guess I'll see. Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I'm gonna go lay down.
I guess I'll see you guys around.
Yep, later.
Later.